unfortunately, I lost all of the video that I was trying to show you guys about the first part of our fence build. Hey guys, what's up? And welcome back to the channel. This is not what I wanted to film today. Unfortunately, I had an accident with my phone, and in that accident, I completely smashed my phone to the point where it was not functional. And unfortunately, I lost all of the video that I was trying to show you guys about the first part of our fence build. That sucks. When I get back to the house, I'll show y'all what I've done so far and kind of explain what we're going to do in the next couple videos. Right now, I am headed to the gas station and to O'Reilly's because in the midst of all of this, we had a cold snap and the battery on the welder is completely dead. So I'm going to go check it and make sure that the battery is actually dead and it's not something with the welder. And in the meantime, fill up some gas tanks and hopefully get a little bit done today. I don't plan on doing a whole lot of welding. We are under a burn ban in our county, so the welding has come to a cease. The only type of work that I can do is in my shop. So see us back at the house. In the meantime, I will show you what I've done so far on the fence. So I had some time lapses that I filmed that I unfortunately lost, and we have gotten this entire side of the house done. We're all the way down there to the gate and all the way up there to our connecting fence, and everything has been welded and it is ready for paint and paint treatment. But I've made it all the way behind here, behind the hay bales, and you can see kind of where I stopped. So yeah, it is very dry. Just trying to give us a good window. Hopefully we get some rain here in October, late October, early November. That allows us to finish these sections and get to our first man gate, which is gonna go right there. Anyways, in the meantime, I've got a couple projects that I'm gonna work on. I'm gonna weld some things together in the shop. We've got our top post for our top cross post for our entry gate. I've got the pipe for that sitting over in my pile of pipe. Oh, which way? This is reversed. Yeah, over there somewhere. But we are just trying to do as much as we can out here with this burn ban. Hopefully I can get the welder started. So that's what I'm going to continue to do here. All right, here's what I've done so far. I went ahead and filled up the gas and sprayed it out a little bit just to kind of clean out a little bit of the corrosion that was on the back end of this machine here. And I've cleaned the battery terminals really well. I'm not quite sure why I'm not getting any sparks still, but we're gonna have to do some more digging. All right, so we're gonna get the shop cleaned up a little bit. I'm gonna go ahead and back the welder up in here today at some point, just to get it out of the weather, because we're supposed to get some rain tonight into tomorrow. But in the meantime, I think I may have found a solution to the welder problem.
After spending some time researching on the online forums and other places on the internet, I narrowed it down to a few things: the ignition switch, a 30 amp inline fuse, and a plug in the firewall. But in the meantime, I really need to clean up the shop. Let's do it.
right. Now that we got this in here, we're gonna be able to work on it a little bit easier. I think what's next is I'm gonna unplug that plug in the firewall and clean it out and put some dielectric grease in there, and then replug everything back in. Hopefully that gives us what we need. But I parked it in here. We're supposed to get some pretty heavy rain the next couple of days, so I just wanted it to stay dry just because I've got the covers off and everything, and I don't want any of those leads to get wet and then end up corroding. So all right, I hopped on out here. It is dark outside and the girls are asleep. I went ahead and got my multimeter, and I have been tracing it back from the battery. So let me show you what I've gotten so far. From our battery, we're reading 12.5 roughly volts. I went ahead and followed our positive wire, and it runs right to the back of the starter solenoid. Tested it there, still have 12.5. Went ahead and followed it on down to that inline fuse right here. Still had 12.5. So we are getting off the starter solenoid and to the inline fuse that goes to this connection in the firewall. So this is usually plugged in there. So what I'm gonna test now is if I have voltage to the end of this plug. I may have to go jump out and get some electronic plug cleaner at some point and toss them in there. But what I want to try to do is get electricity to the end of that plug, and then I'll plug it in and see if I can get power to the backside of our switch plug. Okay, so I'm not getting anything to the end of that plug. So I might need to test our fuse now. Let's take a look. So it looks okay. So I went ahead and threw my multimeter in continuity mode. The first thing I did was test a normal fuse. It looks like there's continuity there. And when I put it on this one, which I may be doing this wrong, but no matter where I do it, I'm not getting continuity. We do have an industrial welding supply store in the town over. I may try to go there tomorrow on my lunch break and see if I can't find the correct fuse for that. Another thing that I might do is replace the fuse box, or the fuse inline fuse holder. It is plastic and it's pretty degraded and cracked. Hey guys, next day here. Running over to a welding supply store to grab a fuse. Hopefully they have what we need. If not, I'm gonna have to order it online, but I'm gonna go and grab that, and we will see you back at the house. All right, update. You guessed it. The welding supply shop didn't have what we needed. And just through a conversation with the guy, he was like, yeah, I mean, I guess you could try a different fuse and see what happens. And I was like, well, I really don't want to break anything. And he was like, if anything, I'll just bust the fuse. So I ran by the O'Reilly's and went ahead and grabbed just an automotive grade inline fuse. And I'm gonna have to order the one that I need off the internet. We've got our new fuse. Let's just give this sucker a whirl, see what happens. We do have the battery terminals disconnected, and probably will for just a second while I get this fuse plugged in here. Next, we're going to grab this electronic cleaner. And I'm going to let that cleaner dry. It's a fast drying compound, but I will be back in just a second after I let that dry. It's been just a little bit. I'm going to pack this sucker full of grease and send it to the moon. positive terminals on. I am hoping that we are somewhere in business. Woo! Let's go. We got the welder button back up. It is working just fine. So a lot of you might ask why I didn't just replace the fuse first. And the answer to that is I did replace the fuse first. And then I replaced the fuse just with one I had laying around in the shop that fit, and went to turn the switch on and immediately blew that fuse. So I was like, that doesn't seem right. So I got another one and threw it in there, same thing. So I went ahead and took a look at the back of the switch, and the back of the switch was really corroded, which I've cleaned it up quite a bit since then. But you can see here, this brass fitting is starting to green, but it was really dirty. And I think what had happened over time was that all that corrosion was just causing electricity to jump across to different places that didn't need power. So we were just sending back tons of power and blowing that fuse. So we are going to jump into a little bit of welding. You never know what we can get into tomorrow, to be honest. Have I told y'all that I need to get a tractor? I'm young, but not that young. Now that I got the pipe moved over here, I need to change into some clothes that I can mow in. Here we go. Nice. Let's get the cutting torch out and start cutting on this. So we know that we need 18 foot 11 inches for our fence. And I measured the fence number with. So we have roughly 13, 8.5. So we need, with that, 5 foot 3 inches roughly pipe that we need to cut off of that piece right there. So I'm gonna go ahead and take this one down, throw that one up here, and we'll cut that one off. Well, I think that's gonna have to do it for this part of our fence build. I'm so sorry for losing some of that footage, but know that we are making progress, and I am doing a better job at uploading the footage as soon as I get done hitting record. So I think that's it for me here. Y'all keep putting one foot in front of the other, and don't get caught at the crossroads. We'll see ya.